Yes, people. Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to another live. The new show brought to you by Boohoo Man. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the video. Go and get your hoodies 10% off. Link is in the description, people. Go and do that, you know what I mean, and help support the channel. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the show. But we've got a new show, people, and this new show is called Best of the Rest. You know what I mean? The traditional team that's been stomping the ground lately has been Man City and Liverpool. So I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna look down on anyone. I'm just gonna call ourselves the best of the rest. You know what I mean? I know Premsy, you might have something to say about that. Top of the
Hey, that's what I'm trying to say. You want to hang fire with that right about now, making me feel like we're dead out here. You get me? But to be honest, you know what, Saeed? It's going to be some fireworks on this. I'm telling you now, I can feel it coming. I can see the Tottenham shirt in my face and I'm not liking it.
Big up, man. Big up. But Premsy, welcome to the channel, Arsenal fan. Make sure you go follow him, Premsy TV. But big up to you for coming on, Premsy.
No, big up, man. Appreciate it, man. With all the guys, going to be a good one. I'm telling you, people, make sure you stay locked in.
Come on, man. Come on. And we got Patrick, man like Patrick, Tyrant. You get me? Make sure you go follow him on Twitter. First time we're doing a show together, bro. So love for coming on.
I know exactly. I see everything you're doing. I love it. And yeah, it's a pleasure and honor to be here. So yeah, man. But as the people know, it's Patrick Tyrant, aka Young Swaggy Daniels. When you see the T, see the P. When you see the P, and it represents T. Let's go.
Come on. Yo, that is
yeah.
I like that. Come on. And then we got the main man, you get me? I feel like we started a journey together. Man like Carefree Lewis G, bro, you get me? What are you telling me, bro?
Every time, my guy. Great to be on here, as always. Big up Premsy, Patrick as well. I think this is the first time we've streamed together as well. So, yeah, big up. We're probably the bummy club out of the four right now. One of us has to be. But, yeah, big up for having me on anyway.
Come on, man. Always, man. Big up Nate H. He says, give Arsenal their quarter of the Premier League trophy, lol. You know what,
I'll
man?
take it.
You know what? Let's start on Arsenal, because you know what it is, yeah. I got cooked last night on the Big Six for not giving Arteta enough praise, Arsenal enough praise. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is there with the fan base, but they're almost itching for praise. So you know what, man? Friends chatting me, like I said. Yeah.
Oh, listen, I don't want no praise off you. You get me? I don't want no praise off no United fans. Yeah. Do you know why? Because at the end of the day, our rivalry runs deep. You get me? Now, no matter what anyone says, there ain't no praise. It's just low key hating. You get me? When we're playing, and Arsenal win, United fans ain't happy.
Football, though, Premsy. Like it's
no. The difference is, bro. The difference is we're sitting at the top of the table, 7 games gone, and you know what? You're only as good as your last game in it, and we won our last game, and we're sitting pretty at the top of the tree. I'm not trying to get too gassed. It's just 18 years, bro, of being so shit and not even seeing the top. I'm just enjoying it while it's lasting, innit? You know what I mean, bro?
I hear it, man.
Oh, what's going on here? So these comments are just keeping me going upside down because I'm only a small channel now, innit? So I don't get that many comments flashing through. You get me? So it's distracting me a bit. But yeah, I just feel like with Arsenal right now, we just gotta keep the momentum going, because if we just keep taking game by game and every game as it comes and just keep winning and let everyone else talk. The more people are talking about us, the more we're doing something right in it. That's how I'm seeing it. So I just long may it continue. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely, man. Obviously, the rival, you know what I mean? The North London derby's around the corner, but you guys are neck and neck. But in terms of Arsenal, you know what I mean? Are we seeing any different here? Obviously, they used to always play good football, but are you surprised by their start to the season, or?
No, I'm not surprised. You know, I mean, like if I take like my Spurs hat off and just talk football, I'm not surprised with Arsenal this season. To be fair, at the beginning of the season, before we even kicked a ball, I had my top 4 predictions were City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal in that order. So I always thought Arsenal would get into the top 4 this year. They've done well, man. I mean, obviously, apart from the Man United game, they are all games you expect them to win. But obviously, football doesn't work like that. You still got to turn up, as we know. If you don't turn up, you can catch a hiding. So fair play to them, man. And they deserve the credit. They Arsenal fans are a weird one. You get like Premsy seems like a balanced fan. He's talking his talk, but he's also not getting too carried away. But some of them are getting way too carried away. And I'm just like, just take it easy, man. You're doing really well right now, but it's still early doors, isn't it? But at the end of the day, all you can do is beat the teams you're playing. They've done that. I want to see what Arsenal do in the big 6 games. At home and away from home. That's where we judge them, because these teams, with all due respect, you would expect Arsenal to beat them 9 times out of 10. I know they've had blips before, like when they lost to Brentford, but realistically, they should be beating those teams. But obviously, their first big test, Man United, they came up a cropper. Tottenham away will be a good test for both of us, and I'm looking forward to that one to even see where we are, because again, going to the Emirates, we typically lose that game. But we went there last year under Nuno, and that was a completely different side. So I'm looking forward to it. Arsenal, I hate to say it, but they're a good team, man. You got to give them their credit. They're a good team, and they're going to cause a lot of teams problems. But United are a good team. Tottenham are a good team. Chelsea, I don't know yet, but we'll see. But obviously, they've got the quality to be a good team. It just depends. There's a lot there with Chelsea that we still don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But going back to your question, yes, you have to give them the credit. They deserve it right now. They do.
You know what's mad, Lewis? It's the fact that because Arteta, you know what I mean, the fan base have always wanted Arteta. I think a lot of the fan base wanted Arteta out. I think there's obviously match going fans are different, but in terms of what I've seen, it's kind of strange now that they're united now as a fan base. Like now they're all behind Arteta. They want to, obviously people have got their own beliefs and whatnot. And, I know who they are, but that's why it's kind of so strange, and that they've got this confidence and they got their. You know what I mean? It's good though, because at the end of the day, we want that. I want that as a rival. The thing is with me, I'm like chess versus chess. I'll give the chess, but then if I see people like they're trying to talk the talk, but they don't want to say it, that's why me and Baz went at it nicely on the Lad Bible, because it was back and forth. But is it strange, Lewis? Because obviously you man have been dominating London for a while, innit? So it's finally good that you've got competition now, innit? You know what I mean?
It is, but it's like, I don't know whether to completely sell myself on it yet, because fair enough. The one thing that I was questioning Arsenal about was whether they could do 2 games a week, because they did 1 game a week last season. They still didn't make top 4.
True.
Now, like, they've had 2 Europa League games. They're still winning games. They're still top of the league. The only real question mark has been maybe how they perform against the top 6, and that's still yet to be asked right now. But yeah, Arsenal are doing really good. Really good. I don't know how long it's going to last, but that all depends on where the expectations are. If you're talking about Arsenal fans now getting ahead of themselves and saying, oh, we could contend for the title or something or finish second, it's not realistic. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that they're serious top 4 contenders now. I weren't really taking them that serious at the start of the season. I thought, they look good and everything, but they looked just as good last season. And I was sure they were going to make top 4 last season, and they didn't from a very good position. But that might be experience for them now. That might be what pushes them to be able to make the extra step this season. That and the fact that we look like an absolute car crash. But we'll get into the Chelsea part in our own time. As of Arsenal, they look good. I can't say anything. They look good.
You know what it is, Premsy? Obviously now, you've bought in mentality players, but it's one of them. The only reason why I've not put Arsenal into top 4, is because I put myself into the top 4 and I put Tottenham ahead of you. But I think in the kind of like, and people are not understanding when you had injuries.
Are you still standing by that now? Right now, after 7 games, you're still saying that Arsenal...
I think over the course of the season, I think naivety of Arteta will come in. And people will say that's hating on Arsenal, but I'm a rival fan, and I'm trying to look at weaknesses, Premsy. I'm just trying to look at your team and thinking, you've still got a naive coach in Arteta. He's still... he's not what you call it, a well-polished manager. When you're looking at Ten Hag, you're looking at Conte, even Potter's done, coaching around the world and whatnot. But are you concerned about maybe the naivety coming in the season in terms of injuries? Maybe kind of,
what? You can't not worry about it, innit? Because personally, we need another midfielder. We need another attacker in the window, because if anything happens to Jesus or Thomas Partey, like we've seen, it's going to be a big problem, innit? Realistically, when Thomas Partey's come back into the team against Brentford, you can clearly see what he offers to our squad. The transition from defence to attack is so much smoother. The balance of play, it just always works out better in our favour with a Partey. And now, if that player's out of the team, we're going to have to look at squad depth. We haven't really got cover in that position. Lokonga is not really ready. But we're just hoping that everyone stays fit. I'd be honest, where I am with Arteta, if he doesn't get us top 4 and he doesn't win a trophy, it's bye-bye for me still. You get me?
Yeah,
the reason why I've started to become a little bit more positive is because I'm seeing good signs. Personally, if it wasn't for Arteta, we would have never have signed Gabriel Jesus. We would have never have signed Zinchenko. So you got to give the man his credit. He got them man through the door. And they are pretty much, especially Jesus, is showing an upturn in his value of what we paid for him. You get me, bro? Because he's the quality he's adding on the pitch, unbelievable. I also agree, Arteta is naive in certain situations, just like the substitutions he made at Man United. You get me? 2-1, we're very much in the game. However, he wanted to go and win it. I can appreciate that he wants to do that. I like that. But you got to learn how to manage a game in it. When you go to Old Trafford and you're 2-1 down and you're very much in the game and it looks like you can equalise, potentially win, don't make them mistakes in it. Now, whether he has learned from that and learned fast, because I hope he has, that might be a good learning block to learn early in the season for the rest of the season going. I just think we just got to take our time with it. At the end of the day, like I said, we haven't played many of the big teams yet, even though some of the teams that we have played, like Brentford, that slapped you man up 4-0, beat Chelsea. They're not. No, but I'm not lying in it. They're not no pushovers in it, bro. You get me? No pushovers. Crystal Palace away, no pushovers.
To be fair, he didn't get dominated back there, but again, it shows the other side of Arteta. You got through it. Fulham, you got through it. Aston Villa, you got through it.
Let me tell you though, the main reason why a lot of Arsenal fans are backing it and are going with it, because pre-season was a massive factor in it. Let me tell you that for many, many years, we've had the shittest pre-season ever. Getting players signed right on the last day of the window. You get me? Not integrating in the squad properly. But this season, it was different. This season, it was different. You get me? We come in, we made the signings, and look, we started to see good results in pre-season. The feel-good factor carried on into the start of the season.
It's good to be positive, Premsy.
Bro, at the end of the day, you could be positive if you're winning, innit? If you're not winning and you're sitting bottom of the league after 3 games in relegation zone, bro, best believe ain't no fan positive if you truly love your club, innit? Simple as that.
I felt that, by the way.
Simple as that, fam. I'm telling you, boys.
100%. Like I said, I think the future you never know. Even Mourinho said it. The biggest mastermind in the game. The future you never know. But like I said, if you were to kind of say now, if I said to you now, with chess, are you making top 4? Could you say that we're making top 4
this season? I can say after seeing the at the start, before any game kicked off, before pre-season, I didn't think we was, being honest. But after pre-season, after the start of the season, even the likes of Fabio Vieira getting a goal, obviously we can't get too gassed, but he's just shown us an extra quality that we've got off the bench. I can comfortably say I think we'll get top 4, 100%.
Okay, fair enough, man. Right, let's move over to the Tottenham. You know what I mean? The what do you call it? The Conte army. I'm a big fan of Conte. People think I'm a closet Spurs fan. You know what I mean? But I like.
I'll take that. Saeed, come over, man. I'll take that all day long.
Nah, but you know what I mean?
Talking about, I just drive to his house now. Yeah, lock his door. It ain't going nowhere.
Listen, I'm not.
I both can win nothing. It's all good.
Come on,
yes, Lewis.
Open goal, bruv. I ain't have it.
What's the song, man? It's happened again. It's happened. But now, Matrick, what do you reckon, Tottenham? Obviously, you know what I mean? The start you've had, you know, people are saying the football is sustainable. Well, you know what I mean? You're winning games. The 6-2 might not have been a 6-2, but how have you found Tottenham this season?
I think it's everything I expected it to be. And you know, the people that keep saying that the football's not sustainable, since Conte's come in, we've been an efficient machine. We score a lot of goals. We typically we don't concede that many goals. Even when we've been beat, we've not been battered by any team. We had a wobble in the Champions League. I was really annoyed at that one because I thought, cool, we weren't good in that game, but I'll take a draw. And then we completely capitulated in the last 5 or 6 minutes. But all in all, we've been a very solid team, scored a lot of goals. We've actually played entertaining football at times. Yes, sometimes it isn't that great on the eye, but to be fair, the team knows what it's doing. It's well-oiled, it's well-drilled. When you've got fantastic front players like Kane and Son, and obviously now with Charlison coming in, Kulusevski, we are a good team. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not worried about Spurs in the sense. I know there's still some Spurs fans that are like, oh, it's not sustainable and the wheels are going to fall off. But I don't see that. I don't really see that. We're not, you know, there's different ways to win a football game. And yeah, you can play football.
It's true.
But yeah, there's different ways to win a football game, and different coaches will have different ethoses and different mentalities. Yeah. Arsenal play good football. It's attractive football. But then sometimes in the big games, you, like Premza said, there is a naivety where with Tottenham, cool, you can have the ball, but we will just boom, boom, boom and score a goal. Do you know what I mean? There's different ways to break a team down, different ways to win a game. Under Pochettino, we played a lot of fancy football, had a lot of the ball, 70% possession. 60% versus Liverpool in the Champions League final were the better team. And it was a poor game, but had a lot more shots on goal. But Liverpool just managed the game properly. And game management is a big part of football. And I think now we've got a lot of players that are older and more mature and a bit wiser. You're seeing that decision making, just basically taking the right shots at the right time. Defensively, we have improved. Even Eric Dyer getting back into the England team is testament to that. Hugo Lloris, he has been shaky for a while, but the last 2 years he's been a very, very good goalkeeper. So when I see Tottenham play, like even against Leicester, first half we weren't that great, but I was never worried. I knew we would manage that game out and see it. And obviously 6-2 was a bit harsh on them, but then at the end of the day they weren't good, and they allowed us to keep pushing forward and scoring goals. So I like what we're doing. Yes, of course, I'd like to see a more entertaining brand of football. But at the end of the day, I'll take the results all day long, man. It's a results business, and we're here to get results. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I'm saying that this is what Conte's been brought in. I don't think Conte was brought in for fancy football. Exactly. You could have kept Pochettino. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So let's, like I said, Conte's been brought in to win trophies. Spurs haven't got a great record of winning trophies. I don't want to throw that in, but I just think
it's the reality. It's the reality of it. Yeah,
it's the reality of it. So, what are Spurs fans wanting? You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't want the whole world.
That's what I mean.
You have to win now. You have to win now. Yeah. And this is if this season a season where you're looking at it thinking trophy, and obviously finish as high as you can. Like, is that your aim?
Yeah, 100%. Top 4 in the trophy. That was my objectives at the beginning of the season. Listen, it's very Man City for me are cut above everyone. Like, I think realistically they're going to walk the league. Obviously for us, as in United, your Tottenhams, your Chelseas, we want to reduce that gap. Your Liverpools, but realistically they're just so good. So for me, it's just about getting in the top 4 and then winning one of the domestic trophies. Obviously, if we have a nice Champions League run, fantastic, I'll take it. I don't realistically see us winning the Champions League. But as you know, in knockout football, you just try and go as far as you can and you see what happens. But it's going to be difficult. But the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, we need to win one of those, man. We've got enough good players in this team, a top manager, and then just make sure we get in that top 4 again. Consistently being a Champions League team, that's the aim for Tottenham. And then obviously adding a trophy on top.
Obviously, you know what I mean. Tottenham, Arsenal, it's coming over. The North London derby's coming over.
I know.
It's gonna be a big one. Premsy, when you look over, are you worried about Conte? You know what I mean, and what he can bring. The fact that he's got that siege mentality.
100% I am, bro, because he was the guy I wanted at my club, innit? That's the bottom line of it. I wanted Arteta gone 3 games in and Conte come in, a proven winner. And you know what? Spurs, they did well, man. You get me? They went in for a Mourinho. It didn't work out. They hired Nuno within the first, what was it, a month, 2 months? They sacked him.
Yeah, 10 games. Yeah.
10 games, chopped him up and got in Conte when the opportunity was there. And the reason why I think it's a good move for Tottenham, because it's all kind of falling into place for them right now with the new stadium. They got obviously Kane, Son, they got squad depth now, and they've got a world-class manager. So yeah, I'd be lying if I'm saying, nah, they're not worrying me. Of course they're worrying me, because if you know your football, they're doing all right. Now, people are saying Tottenham are not playing well and winning games. I appreciate that, but Antonio Conte has never been that manager to really be giving you them kind of games anyway. You know what I mean? We've seen how we won the league at Chelsea. And to be totally fair, I like Patrick, Tottenham fan that I like, telling you, there's some sense out here, But
come on, man, find the energy, Premsy. Find
you know what? Yeah. As we get closer and as we get closer to the game, bro, it's just going to get more heated. And
yeah, 100%.
Because look, we're like 2 weeks away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit of a gap, isn't it?
Yeah. And to be fair, last season, obviously, Mum was there. It was a mad thing. You get me? Like the way we dusted Tottenham, pushed them to side.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was fucking horrible. That was horrible.
Yeah, and if we could do this, we could do the same kind of thing to this Conte's team whilst they got the tails up. To be honest, I think it would be a nail in the coffin for him. You get me? I'll put them back down to reality and realize what time it is.
Oh, hey, chill.
Challenge for top 4, and that's it.
Chill.
You know what it is, though? It's funny, innit? But Lewis is always like thinking, yeah, man. I can see his energy. He's like, yeah, Tottenham always have this hype, man. It's just another year for us, isn't it? It's just another year of Tottenham not winning anything, and we're just the top dogs of London, innit? But how are you thinking? Obviously, former manager over there. What are you thinking of Tottenham this year? Are you scared of Tottenham this year, by the way? Are you scared?
I was more worried about Tottenham than Arsenal because I thought the fact that they managed to pull themselves back into top four despite basically being on flight mode for the first 3-4 months of the season under Nuno was more impressive than people were actually speaking about. And yeah, like the football doesn't look good at times, but that comes with Antonio Conte. The fact is, he does get you performances, he does get you results, as long as you keep him happy and you continue to give him his targets and keep his options up. In terms of whether they can win a trophy or not, like I don't know, because I think the biggest thing with Tottenham is just the overall mentality in general. I think winning a trophy is a big mental block for the club. And we've seen that happen on numerous occasions when they reach semi-finals, when they reach finals. You don't see the same Tottenham that you usually see, like under Pochettino, for example. So they have to break through it to be able to do it. And I think they have a manager that's good enough in terms of motivating players and getting 100% out of them and even more, that it could be enough to push them to get the trophy. But I'd have to see it for myself. I couldn't predict Tottenham to ever win a trophy because I just think that mental block is, no offense, it's just too big to break.
You know
You've
what?
got to break
You're
it first. Once you do it, you definitely could win more trophies. But it's about bringing that energy into the club first. And it's going to take a lot to do that. But in terms of Spurs, yeah, I was more worried about them than Arsenal personally. And now Chelsea are playing like crap. Yeah, long season. Long season.
I was going to say, it's like a change in like energy, in it. But the thing is with me, with Conte, I just feel like he knows that there's a lot of pressure on this. I can feel it with him, Patrick, the fact that he knows Tottenham haven't won anything. He still kind of needs to prove himself because, I don't know, man, just maybe doing it with another team, I mean, Tottenham as well. His European record isn't great. He might want to prove something. That's why it's so animated.
Even his domestic record isn't great.
Well,
he won the
FA
trophies.
He won the FA Cup.
But that's it. Nothing with Juve, nothing with Inter. Yeah, that was it with Chelsea.
It's true, and it's like a poison chalice for big managers to come to Tottenham because we've got the pull in terms of the players, and we're a big team, and we can obviously pay the wages that the manager wants, and we can kind of compete in the transfer market to a degree. Obviously, there are teams that can go crazy, but there's all the foundations there, but. The point is, managers will put their name on the line coming to Spurs because it is a thing where, like Mourinho or Conte, they want to try and break that cycle and knock the monkey off the back. But then also at the same time, if it doesn't work out, they can say, "Oh well, it's Tottenham and it wasn't me. I did all I could do. Tottenham are just not." So it is a tough one. Conte needs to somehow, like Carefree saying, break through that fucking mental block, that cycle, that barrier. You've got enough good players on the day to hopefully turn up and do something. Because in finals, Son's been MIA, Kane when fit has been MIA. The players that should be doing something to drag that team across the line, they haven't done it yet. So that's where I'm a bit annoyed because they've had chances. It's not like they haven't had chances to do it. So it's a tough one because obviously as a Spurs fan, and an optimistic one, I want to say, we're going to do it and this and that. But when you guys say what you're saying, I can't really get angry or annoyed because it is also fact. So it's a tough one, isn't it? But I'm hoping Conte has got all the ingredients to do it. So let's just see what happens.
Yeah. No, 100%. I hear you, man. Big up to everybody locked in, man. Over 500 of you here. Please, guys, smash a like on the video. You know what I mean? And make sure you guys subscribe to each and every channel. The link is in the description. Support them, man. Everyone's winning out here. So big up to the panel. Big up to everybody who's watching. And obviously we move over to the mighty Chelsea, the mighty Blues, Graham Potter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird, isn't it? Like, it's a weird one. The feeling is like the players are shit, but then you want maybe another manager. And then when a new manager comes in, then you're like, shit, the players are actually shit. It's a weird one, isn't it? Now it's now gone back to
no, you know what? Are you really saying Chelsea haven't got shit players? Chelsea ain't got shit players.
No, it's not. No, I'm saying that
we have shit.
Nah. You can't use
our
that.
attack is being carried by Sterling. Our midfield has no final ball in them. The wing backs are all right, and we sorted out the defense at least, but they need to get an understanding of each other, and that won't happen for at least a few months. But the goalkeepers are playing like crap. The midfielders look inconsistent as hell. The attack
keeps telling me that he's good.
Who?
Matisse keeps telling me that he's good, but Mendy, is he dropped now for Kepa now, or is it just a case of it was just for that Champions League game?
Crap. Yeah. Like, I was calling for Kepa to start just because Mendy was playing so badly. It's like, okay, stop rewarding this guy with starts.
Yeah.
Because he clearly can't play himself into form. Then we play Kepa, and there was like two goals that it's not necessarily all his fault, but they're two goals that I'm looking at and I'm thinking Mendy has bigger reach and he saves them. The Zagreb one, Kepa did all he could in a defensive car crash, but Mendy would have reached that. The goal against Salzburg on Wednesday, big defensive mess up. Jorginho goes missing. Silva's tackle doesn't do anything. Aspi misses his marker. Mendy would have reached for that shot though. But then the difference is you play Mendy. Mendy's poor at his near post and his distribution's terrible. So you can't rely on either of them. And they're both causing us goals.
That's the thing as well, isn't it? It's obviously he will have his players, he will bring his players, but he's got to manage his own abilities and obviously find out what because he's got to make sure he provides an environment for the players to thrive on. He can't just come in and because he has to work with him till at least the end of the season, or at least till January. He's not going to ship many in January, but he has to work with him till the end of the season, which is a difficult thing because then you have to compromise to the players, and some of them don't want to be there. Some of them obviously want to be there. We hear reports about, you were saying before, Havertz might be going to Bayern Munich possibly as well. So
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's there you go. There you go. The sporting director as well. Apparently, it's not coming now. What's happened with that one?
Fabrizio and a bunch of Chelsea journalists jumped the gun heavily on that one. We were interested in Christoph Freund and there was talks, but it was nowhere near confirmed. And everyone was going around saying it's confirmed he was going to join us and it was a matter of documents being signed. And that's not the case. And he wants to stay at Salzburg now, which I understand, really. He's in a very comfortable position that he's been successful at for years. He hasn't really had the experience of building an entire infrastructure from start to bottom. He's walked into one and he's adapted and he's succeeded on that front. So, I get him wanting to stay. We still need to sort out our director of football and there's other options. But, yeah, a lot of journalists just jumped the gun on that one. On Potter as well, I agree he has to find a way to make these players work. But there was reports coming out that if we don't make top four, Potter's job won't be in jeopardy. And it's because none of them are his players. It's the same thing that we said with Tuchel. You can't sack Tuchel and then sack this guy for not making top four when you were going to rely on him in the long term. We just have to go through the bad phase, which basically is trust the process without saying the words trust the process. But yeah, we're here now, isn't it?
Well, you know what? Though?
That weird, for the last few years, of just be getting knocked about left, right, and centre.
The passion, and we are now it. It's so
crazy, isn't it? Now, you know what I mean? The fact that you were getting ridiculed for the process.
Bro, I can't believe that they sacked Tuchel. To be honest with you, I think that was stupid, man. I can't, man. I just, you know what it is, if you're gonna do something like that, it's got to be done in the summer, in it, for me, because he's a guy that's come into a club, won him a Champions League, won him this, that, and the other, and if there was anybody to get the best out of a player like Aubameyang that he's just brought in, would potentially be him. So they didn't even give it enough time to see how it ran. Obviously, unless it was all the background stuff and there was just bare problems knocking around.
There was a lot of background stuff. Apparently all of the attackers wanted to leave. Pulisic was trying to leave, Havertz was trying to leave, Pulisic, Cho, Werner, because apparently
Ziyech wanted to go.
Ziyech as well. The midfield, we needed a DM and a centre mid, and Tuchel just ignored that until 2 days before the window. And I think that was not even Tuchel, and it was the board saying, no, this midfield is an actual issue. We need to bring someone in immediately. Bowley really, really wanted Ronaldo, and Tuchel said no to bringing him 5 or 6. Apparently, we're coming in for him again in January.
I know. This is what I mean. It should have took him.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense now. I was all for it over the summer.
You were
here.
I remember
bring him in immediately because we needed a goal scorer. But it's now we have one. We signed the Aubameyang. What's the point in getting another plus 30-year-old striker?
Yeah.
You can't really
bring Ronaldo in, bench Aubameyang so we can all laugh at him.
But the thing is, though, you know what's crazy about this, Patrick? You know, they brought in Aubameyang, who was a guy who was under Tuchel, and then they sacked Tuchel, and then they're gonna bring in Ronaldo in January. It's a bit of a mess. And you know what? I don't know if you've seen Zachariah's quotes, but they wanted him only 6 hours before the transfer window closed. So it was just all over the place, man. Chelsea.
there's no direction there at the moment, and that's the biggest problem. Because you guys, I know you, Sai, and Lewis has said that they got crap players. Chelsea don't have crap players. They've got amazing. I say amazing. I mean, they've got a vast squad in terms of the riches. Array of talent, but it's mismanaged. Different managers bringing in different components, so there's no real cohesion there. And yeah, it's a bit mad. There's no direction, like you said. Trying to get Ronaldo in for so long, Aubameyang comes in, who was obviously a Tuchel signing. They get rid of Tuchel. It's just a bit weird. So I don't know, man. I feel for Tuchel though. I mean, obviously I don't like Chelsea, but I thought they did him dirty. I thought that they could have given him a bit more time, considering that they brought in new ownership. He had to manage the team last year with all of the madness going on. Still got them top 4. They got to 2 finals. They were quite unlucky. In both of those finals, they were probably the better team against Liverpool. Lost both on penalties. So I know it's fine lines in football. At the end of the day, it will say Liverpool winners. But Chelsea didn't do that badly in either of the games. So it is tough, man. It's tough. He won, obviously, the Champions League there. I think he won another trophy as well. But yeah, in football, it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
I mean, long may it continue, though. Obviously, just from a rival's point of view, listen.
And they make it top 4, by the way. Do you reckon they make it top 4?
Nah. I said even before the season started, I said the reason why I said Tottenham and Arsenal is because I just felt they were in better. They were just basically more advanced in their. I hate to say the word, but in their process, they were more advanced and more further forward. And Chelsea just were a bit of a mess. And now they've got rid of Tuchel as well. I can't see it personally.
Anyone disagree? Obviously, I'll go with you, Lewis, first of all. Are you confident in making top 4? When you look at the way that Arsenal now are progressing their development, Tottenham are looking a bit more a bit more meaner. Obviously, United, I believe in what we're doing. Obviously, we'll get to that in a bit. But Chelsea, it's a lot to sort out maybe for Potter in a short space of time. And maybe you have a bit of more kind of maybe lenience towards that if you don't make top 4. But Chelsea always demand, though. That's the good thing about Chelsea. They've got good fans who demand a lot.
The old regime did. This is the thing. The new regime, it's still very early days. You can't say what type of mindset they have. And I do think Bowley's competitive. But I also think we are probably willing to throw this season away if it helps benefit us in the long run. In terms of top 4, it's still way too early to tell because we've only had 1 game under Potter. But it don't look good. Even United look like they're in a good phase right now. And I don't know if they're going to fall apart at some point. Arsenal, they've only just kept winning. Tottenham, they keep grinding out results. Us, our only good performance this season was against Tottenham, and we still didn't beat them. Every other performance we've had this season, win, lose, or draw, has not been good enough. West Ham, we got genuinely saved by a poor VAR decision and Ben Chilwell having a masterclass off the bench. Leicester, we were down to 10 men, managed to scrape a win just because Leicester are absolutely atrocious. But even then, we scraped it. It wasn't convincing. Every other game, we've drawn or lost and we've looked poor. So I can't say nothing about top 4. I had that belief because of Tuchel. I was like, in spite of the squad, Tuchel can work miracles out of them. We've seen it. He took a front three of Havertz, Mount and Werner to a Champions League. That's the worst front three I've seen in my life. But he's gone now. And I don't know what Potter's capable of. So, I don't know. It don't look good, but
I think you're gonna see in January which direction Chelsea's gonna go in. Either it's
Potter we'll know before then.
I'm on about with the signings that come in, because personally, if you just go and sign a Ronaldo, bro, that ain't Graham Potter made building his team. I'll tell you that much for free, because anybody with a real football brain now knows they should stay away from Ronaldo at 37, 38 years of age. Now, that's common sense, isn't it?
Any reason for him was because he scored goals. And now we have Aubameyang. It's pointless.
Yeah.
But anyhow, if you look at it in a realistic level, you're not getting 5 years out of Ronaldo. If you build a team, it takes 3-4 years to build a team. You're not getting peak Ronaldo at the end of it, are you? No. So in January, that will give you an idea if Graham Potter is going to be putting his imprint on the team and bringing in players, because I can see Chelsea not going for big superstars anymore. I think it was a clever move going for Potter rather than any other manager, because I like Graham Potter personally. I think he's got a good opportunity at Chelsea. He is going to need a little bit of time, but from the transfer windows, you're going to be able to see whether it's this Bowley kid just trying to come in and make a name for himself and spend money left, right, and centre and do a bit of an Abramovich situation, or you're going to see Graham Potter more or less take the reins and put his influence on the team, bring in players that you can then sell on for big money. I'm not saying you're going to become a selling club, but have that kind of structure in play where you're not wasting millions and buying big players, but you can just create that talent within the club. And I think that's what Chelsea have brought in Graham Potter to do that. And personally, it is a risk because he's never managed at this kind of level, but it's a calculated risk, in my opinion, with Graham Potter. And I think that you man just got to give him a little bit of time. I think with the players that come in, Aubameyang, stuff like that, whether they were players that he wanted, I doubt it. But you just got to give him a few windows and see what he does.
My thing is, just the last question on Chelsea, but, Lewis, you've got a very, very demanding fan base. Just honest opinion, do you think this fan base will be patient for Potter? Or do you think, I'm not saying if it doesn't make top 4, but doesn't bring that impact, to Chelsea as what people kind of maybe have hoped for? Do you reckon they'll be patient? Because he's not a big name. He's not, like I said, if it was someone like Ancelotti, people would have been like, no, but keep Ancelotti. He's a winner and da-da-da. Do you think that they'll be patient with Graham Potter, or,
I think with Potter, as long as he shows progress, the Chelsea fans will stand by him, the majority of them. Because, Potter just kind of got thrown into this situation. I do think that there's an understanding based off that. The issue is more the players. Big up Grizz as well.
Big up Grizz.
The issue is more the players. Because it's the same players. The majority failed under Lampard. The majority basically threw Tuchel out of a job. If they don't work on the Potter, it's going to be them that the fans turn on. They've already turned on the likes of Ziyech and Pulisic. Yeah. When Havertz and Aubameyang and Mount were missing chances against Salzburg, fans were annoyed about it, but they weren't getting at the players. Ziyech was being told to piss off by half of Matthew Harding, and he was only on for 10 minutes. Same thing with Pulisic as well. Yeah. And it will be more of them if the form doesn't improve. Jorginho is already hated by half the fan base. All that needs to happen is his form to dip and everyone will be on him. And it would be toxic as a result because the fans aren't really used to, let's take a step back, let's take a year out, and then we go again. The only time we did that was under Lampard. And they were very smart to bring in Lampard because the fans would have just backed him through anything at that point. Potter is different. Because he's a fresh manager, because I do think a lot of fans liked him when he was at Brighton, and you sprinkle a little bit of English tax into it as well, he will get given a bit of time. The players, though, no, they have to perform immediately or the fans will be on their necks and it will all be more toxic as a result.
Absolutely. Big up to everybody still watching. Make sure you guys get the likes up ASAP. And like I said, make sure you guys are following the chat. But we have to move over to United. You know what, man? I don't know, but there's a lot of fans that are saying, Man United won't make top 4 this season.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I'm one of them.
I was.
Unfortunately, I am as well. But yeah,
before I say anything, I think my reason is like most others, I'm basing on other teams like Arteta. I think is a naive coach. Conte, obviously, I put him into the top 4. I think he's going to finish second, by the way. Tottenham are going to finish second this season. And then I put Chelsea not in the top 4, Lewis. I'm sorry. I'm not putting you in the top 4 because I think it could go wrong. Graham Potter might not have the impact. So my reasons are still valid. And then I think Ten Hag is a good coach. I've looked at him in the top 6 games. I've looked at him the way he's tactically done it. I think there are worries in terms of our players if 1 or 2 get injured. But like every other team, if Harry Kane gets injured, if Jesus gets injured, everyone will have
I rebuke it.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Players, you know what I mean? But everyone will have injuries. I just believe in my team. You know what I mean? Those who are hesitant, I put a tweet out today. Are people hesitant? What's going on? And they said 1 or 2 injuries. I'm like, but everyone's gonna get injured.
That's the same. Yeah, that's the same for every team. And to be fair, I do get your thought process behind it because even Liverpool are looking shaky. So there is space in the top 4 if you're willing to take that opportunity. Liverpool are looking a bit. Chelsea are looking a bit. So there are gaps there, but you got to take it. Yeah. There are gaps there. You've won 4 in a row, so yeah, credit where credit's due. And 2 of them were against good teams, Liverpool and Arsenal. So. Yeah, man. I think for you, it'll just be consistency. Where do you lie in the other games where you're meant to win and the other team's more pumped for it than you are? Because I think against Liverpool and Arsenal, you had points to prove. but will you still have that same energy against a Southampton away, or Brentford at home and all that type of stuff? Though, yeah, but you know what I mean. Those kind of teams where you're meant to win, but they could still bring it to you. But
do you reckon the first 2 games maybe gave a false image, Premsy? Because the first 2 games we had Maguire, Shaw, who were culpable in that kind of era, is brought back in Varane and Martinez. We took a totally different team. Obviously, it's difficult. Obviously, for fans, they're just going to mock it and be like, "Nah, you still lost 4-0 to Brentford." And give credit where it's due, but that kind of false dawn there. Has them 2 games made it more kind of like people are like, yeah, nah, United, nah. They've won the first 4, but them first 2 games told us a lot about their team. Are people looking at that maybe?
Do you know what it is, Saeed? I think them 2 games, there weren't like anything false about them, and that's not me taking the piss. It just showed you where United were at, and what they did is they recovered the transfer market and brought some players in, and by doing that, they had an upturn in results. Now, whether we know if Ten Hag can keep it going for a consistent period, we're just going to have to wait and see. But personally, I feel like if I was to ask any other fan here which team needed the biggest surgery at the start of the season, I would have said Manchester United. And going in up until the last day of the window to sign players or whatever it may be, I don't think that's going to give them a good stead running into the rest of the season, bro. Like, it takes time for your players to gel, connect. That game against Arsenal that you won, the game flattered you a bit, bro. Because realistically, I'm not hating, bro. You won. Congratulations. In that game, it's not like you wiped the floor with us, bro. We were the dominant team. You picked your chances and you were clinical.
I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know about that.
Obviously, you don't know about that. You know about 1961. That's what you know about.
Yeah. We finally got it.
Let me tell you, don't get it. But listen, all I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, look, if we went to Old Trafford and United paid us off the park and the result was never in doubt, and Arsenal didn't make 3 substitutions when we were at 2-1 and just throw the game away, I would say, you know what, I think United will get in top 4 because I could see something in there. But I think in order, just like Tottenham, but with the difference of Tottenham, they've got an experienced manager behind him in Conte, and he knows how to win. No, he knows how to win ugly. Now, how much can United win ugly? Because when you have been winning, it's not like the prettiest football. It's not like you're winning in fashion.
Our process, you know what I memean? The idea of us playing football, and you guys were 3 years into it. Ten Hag was never going to come in there and out dominate the Arteta because he knows his limitation, and that's a sign of a good coach, knowing your limitations. I'd be more concerned about Arteta throwing the game at 1. Was it 1-1 or 2-1? Just throwing the game out. Yeah. That, for me, when I looked at that game, I thought, you know what? You might have dominated the ball possession and whatnot, but I thought we were the better team in that time. The whole game of football is limit the opposition and make sure you counter on that.
You played well for the first 10 minutes, bro. I'm telling you now, for the first 10 minutes. You did, bro. If you watch it, get your guy plus and rewind the game, yeah. You played well for the first 10 minutes. And then after that, we were the better team.
Not first 10.
When you scored the goal,
15-20.
No, don't try to squeeze an extra 5 minutes out of me. Yeah, no, you get me. 10 minutes.
Samuel Jacobs, yeah. So we didn't limit you. You didn't attack us in the areas we wanted you to attack us.
Saeed, all I'm saying is, just listen, all I'm saying, yeah, is that the first goal you scored was against the runner play at the time, yeah? The second goal... what do you mean? What? Bro, his hands on the counter attack, bro. He was all over you.
Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. Now you're not getting it,
bro. Just before that, we had a goal chalked off. Are you forgetting us?
No, but it doesn't matter though. In that phase of play,
it was in the same phase of play, bro. You scored a couple of minutes later than that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It was against the run of play. I'm telling you now, facts. Yeah. All I'm saying is,
guys, are you agree with
this?
No, I don't agree with it. And I even said it before.
No. I'm hurt still. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm still hurt. You're pissing me off. But I'm telling you now, it wasn't a shit performance from Arsenal. There was a lot of positives to take out of that. From what I was watching with my own eyes, yeah, I don't ask about what anyone else was saying. The goals came against the run of the play. Fair enough. When we made the 3 substitutions, shit changed the game. But up until that point, we were still very much in the game. We still looked like the team that was going to equalise, not United 3-1. It looked like we was going to equalise. And then we made the substitutions and fucked it.
You did equalise though.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is we were the team that were looking in that sense at 2-1. So it's not like, United were wiping the floor with us.
It's happened. It's
I'm
happened.
here. I'm here.
It's like I can feel it, bro. I can feel it. But you know what it is though, Patrick? What are you looking at? Why have you put United out of the top 4 race? Is it just because you think your team is better and obviously Arsenal are a bit more kind of in their process and whatnot?
Yeah, it's that I think, again, it was an unknown entity with Ten Hag as well. Like, I do rate him as a coach, but obviously new league, having to adjust and find your feet and all of that. But to be fair, though, from what I've seen in the last 4 games, United they've got a chance, man. They've got an outside chance. I'm not going to lie and sit here and say I put them in the top 4. I didn't, but I'd still believe they can make it. But they're going to have to wait for other teams to essentially fall off a bit, which in football can happen. Everyone can go for a sticky patch, and all United need to do is just make sure they're right there. Do you know what I mean? And then pounce. But when I was looking at it, some of the players in the squad that were still getting played, like Maguire and your Shaws and your
Yeah.
But Ten Hag has come in and he has basically made it imprint. And again, as well, you got to remember beginning of the season and everything like that, there's still so much on Ronaldo. Ronaldo, will he stay? Will he, is he going to play? Is he part of the Ten Hag process? But will Ten Hag be forced to play him because of his stature and all of that shit? But I can see that Ten Hag is his own man and he is pretty much playing the players he wants to play, which is refreshing to see. Like Maguire is droppable and, your team has looked better. So, yeah, man, it's early doors. United have looked better. I'm still not convinced. I'm not going to lie, Sai. I know you're my guy, but I'm not going to sit here and say stuff just because I'm still not as convinced when I look at Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, City. They all obviously look stronger, but I can't write you lot off either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what it's about.
Can't write you off.
The thing is, you can't write anyone off. I'm not saying I'm not when I put Arsenal as 6, I think it would be a close top 4 this, Like that's what I mean. It's not going to be a case of 6 is 10 points behind 4. Let's say 15 points. Like Lewis, what do you think? Like United in terms of are they a threat to you? Are they going to be in for this top 4 race? How do you think they're going to bring to the dynamic of the top 4 race? Are they going to be serious this year?
I initially weren't sure about United. Like I didn't keep them in the top 4 on the talk of a top 4 race at the start of the season because just didn't really know what to expect from them. Even initially, like the first few games, there was the Brentford loss and everything like that, but it was only a few games. And I wanted to see how Ten Hag was like after a few months. And I still say that now because I think when you're implementing a philosophy like that, there will be ups and downs throughout the season. There'll be some bad days. There'll be some bad periods for United as well. And they could look like they're nothing like they're in the top 4 race. So I couldn't say I think they're going to make top 4, but they are 100% in the race, 100% in the race. I didn't expect them to be this good this early. I thought it would have taken a month or 2, but yeah, they've been brilliant right now, way better than we've been. So definitely, I think they could make top 4.
Yeah, like I said, it's about injury management, isn't it? Who can have the best injury management in their team? And this is what it's going to be, man. Simple as that. Like, who can keep their players fit? Who can make sure they rotate well? Who can buy in January as well? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know is anyone going to buy in January? We definitely need to buy in January. Like, is anyone on the panel looking to buy in January? Or are you guys happy with your squad?
Yeah, ideally we all need to buy. Like we need a creative mid. I'm screaming out for some sort of like a Madison or even a Paqueta that went to West Ham.
Oh my
God. Like we need. We're missing that trick, and I know people keep saying, "Oh, Conte doesn't play with a 10 or he doesn't." But that's the point of different players. It gives you options. Do you know what I mean? Like there's been games where we've played. What is it? Richarlison, Son, Kane, and Kulusevski together. Like different games are going to need different moments. So for me, I still feel we need that creative midfielder. We're still missing that link. Arsenal will obviously tell you that what they need. I think every team, even City, will probably say that they could go and buy someone. But whether you do it is a different
Please
thing.
Not. I mean, it's like, bloody hell, man. How much more do you need, man? You know what I mean?
Man,
like, with Tottenham, I do think they need a creative midfielder.
100%.
Creative midfielder. I think they could do with another forward. I don't know what it is yet.
So? Where would he play though? Another forward? I don't know. I would probably say more of a centre back. Another
you know what? It could be a centre back, but maybe just in case, like with Harry Kane being out, like I know Richarlison, like I said, he can play that role and whatnot. But just kind of another one, just to because at the end of the day, like I said, with Tottenham, they might draw more games than actual losses. So it's a case of bringing the extra forward in there to kind of make it maybe another difference. You know what I mean? Because you never know, Richarlison could get injured, and then it's like relying on
I know,
Son, who is
yeah. Then you ain't got that depth again. So
depth
it is.
again,
I hear
exactly.
you. I hear you.
Because it's going to be about it's going to be about scoring goals. Because Arsenal are doing well in terms of your. I mean, who would you want to bring in? You didn't get the forward that you needed. You didn't get the CDM that you needed. I mean,
You know what? There's a few positions, bro. Realistically, if I'm being greedy, I could probably give you 5 positions that we need because, as you're seeing, bro, we brought a 15-year-old on the weekend. You know what I'm trying to say? The depth is a little bit thin, and like we just said, if we don't manage injuries properly and we don't get that under wraps, because the one thing about Arsenal, and everyone knows it, we tend to get injured all the time. You get me? There's no respite. Man are getting injured left, right, and centre, and you don't know what it is. So we can't make the same mistake as last year in January, bro. Because we all seen if we replaced Aubameyang and got somebody, we would have definitely got top 4. That's my personal opinion because we were about a game or 2 away. And in actual fact, Arsenal historically tend to do this to us a lot. When we're 1 or 2 players away, they don't give it to us. You get me? But hopefully Arteta, he's learned from his mistakes. We definitely need a different option up front. For me, I think a striker is a lot more important than another winger. We have players that could come in and play that position. Jesus could go out on the left or the right if he really needs to. But when we're struggling to break down teams that are playing low block, we need a different option. I know Jesus could score with his head as well. Yeah, great. But we need somebody that's a bit bigger, can hold the ball up a little bit more. He can play off. And I think that's what we're lacking. We get a centre defensive mid. We'll be all right, I think.
Yeah. Chelsea, what you man saying? You know what I mean? Obviously, it's funny because Graham Potter, he might just raid Brighton and go and get Caicedo. I think that, you talk about centre-backs. You know this Gaviel? Is it Gaviel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gaviel. I know it costs 90 million, yeah. Shall I tell you a player that probably, if you want a cheaper but so talented, and I think is done well at Brighton, Adam Webster. You know what I mean? Like, nobody talks about him a lot. You know, is that a player that probably you could go and get instead of getting the one that you wanted in the summer? You know, I mean, possibly Caicedo, obviously, like that. So who you reckon you want to go in for?
I think we were in for Webster at some point earlier this year. Or it might have been one of the other Brighton centre-backs, but I know we were in for one of them after they scored against us in January. But it would be a good option for us. Like, I do like Brighton's defence from the games that I've seen against us, but that's also kind of heavy Chelsea attacks because our attack's crap. So maybe not. I don't know. If Potter wants him, we'll bring him in. I genuinely don't mind as long as they're players that the manager is asking for. We thought we were doing that with Tuchel, and now I'm not even sure which signings were actually his. Like, Fofana would have suited any other manager. Aubameyang was brought in around the time when they knew they were going to get rid of Tuchel, so I don't even know if that was a Tuchel signing. It all depends on what the manager wants. If we go and raid Brighton for a few centre-backs, cool. Like, I would rather a cheaper alternative. I like Vardiol. I think he's got a very good defensive game about him, and all of his deficiencies are all stuff that can be coached out of him. I think he's a very good prospect, but we need to stop thinking about spending all this money on centre-backs. Like, I'm fine with our back 5 now. And Silva's going to leave. No, I get why, because Silva's going to leave next season. I think
he will.
He's old enough now.
Yeah, no, he was going to go. It came out last year that he was going to retire at Brazil at the end of this season. So
Okay, fair enough.
So I get us bringing another centre back, but like, focus on other areas. Like, a DM's coming in. We heard that we're going to go in for them too, which again, thank God, we've needed a DM for about 4 years straight. Still need another centre mid. We need a creator up front because we have a goal scorer now. We're relying on Sterling to be our only source of creativity, which he's very good at, but I want someone else on there to take all the workload off him. With Havertz looking likely to go Bayern next summer, God willing, with potentially Pulisic leaving and Ziyech wanting to leave as well, like, I could see a big overhaul up top. But for right now, I think the only change you will see is just a DM. I think we're going to go for Edson Alvarez from Ajax. We were in for him on deadline day. But
he can play centre-back as well.
Yeah, versatile. And if anything, that could be our Silva replacement too if he hits the ground running. But have to see.
Si, can you pull up that comment from Z Gold where he's asking me about Tottenham United? I just want to answer it. So scroll up a bit, you'll see it.
I know, I'm not even going to lie, yo. Some of these comments are funny still. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, man, big up the chat, man. Big up the chat.
Yeah, big up Z for the question. Patrick, how is Spurs better than United? I think that's quite... Yeah, and how is United have to depend on team to make top four, considering we have consistently finished in the top four ahead of you in the past seasons? Yeah, you have. United are a good team, but I'm saying look at it right now. Tottenham, I feel, are in a better place than United, especially, like I said, new manager coming in, quite a few players to bed in. Your defense wasn't settled and sorted. You've got players that shouldn't be playing but were playing, as in Maguire, Luke Shaw's, etc., etc. Arsenal definitely in a better space than United as well. So if I'm looking at the top four and I'm saying it's definitely City, Liverpool haven't looked good, but realistically, everyone will put Liverpool in the top four.
Yeah.
And then you got
watch out for that.
They could slip. Seeing what I'm seeing, no one would have predicted this, but realistically, you still put Liverpool in there. And then Tottenham and Arsenal, I feel, and I think most football fans will say, are in a better place than United. But obviously, as the season goes on, we'll see. But I don't think what I'm saying is crazy. I really don't.
No, I don't.
Before we wrap up the show, everyone give their top four predictions. I'm going to give you my one: Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool, United. Premsy, you go.
Fucking hell. I'll go City.
Again, it's just a prediction. It's nothing. Why do people just like get a bit? No,
it's not that, because I'm going to give my honest opinion. And my
go
honest
ahead,
opinion
man.
ain't going to go down well. You get me?
Okay,
I think City will win. I think Tottenham will come second, and I think it's going to be like third and fourth is going to be contested between Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal. But I don't think we're going to be like Arsenal going to be like last season competing for fourth. I think we'll be in and around the conversation throughout. But I just see the Conte being a deciding factor for me. I think he's a top class manager, and I give him credit. I give them credit because a lot of games this season, Tottenham should have lost really, or they haven't looked like they're good, and they managed to get over the line and get the result. So I am going to give them a bit of credit, and I just think as long as we get in top four, I don't care if we finish second or we finish fourth, bro. As long as we finish in the top four and win a trophy, to me that's progression in it. It's no difference if you finish second or third in it. So it is what it is.
Okay. Patrick, give us your prediction.
Yeah, so City definitely win the league. I'm not going to write off Liverpool just yet, so I'll stay with them, but I'm not sure about them. I can't lie. Liverpool second, Tottenham third, Arsenal fourth. That's my top four.
Okay. Lewis, your prediction.
I'm going to go City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs. Sorry, it is what it is.
Okay, Chelsea, I like it.
After that,
you got to back your boys.
Yeah.
You know, we just back your boys, and we'll see what happens.
Have some fun, innit? Yeah. You got it.
I don't want to see you screaming at the end of the season, Saeed.
Listen, man, I'm so screaming, you get me? Like, it just, United, did it? That's what it does to me, man. But listen, this has been the new show, people. You know what I mean? Best of the rest, man. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Been a good laugh, banter. That's what we're going to get on this show. So make sure you're locked in. Hopefully, we'll do it every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Like I said, make sure you guys follow their channels. Premsy, let them know where to find you. Links in the description, by the way, as well for your channel. But let them know what you do.
Yeah, man. First of all, big up people. Everyone in the chat. I've been sitting here having little smiles here, there, and everywhere because it gets funny. I'm not going to lie. But Premsy TV on YouTube, on the road to 3K people. So I appreciate it if you can subscribe and help man out because I can't do it without you, man. You get me? But no, I appreciate the time, Saeed. It's good to get know Patrick and Carefree Lewis because I haven't really met you before. 100%. So big up to you, man, and hopefully many more shows to come.
Come on, man. It. Always, man. Patrick, nice for coming on, man. Let them know. I see your channel. You haven't got content yet, but it's coming, innit? It's coming.
Yeah, that's it. So I started my own little podcast called Chatty Patty, and it's coming. It's building slowly. But I'm on Twitter, Patrick Tyrant. You'll find me. To be fair, I'm on a lot of streams, so you'll see me on there. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You'll see what I'm up to. But Sai, it's been a pleasure, man. Honestly, it's been an honor. Lewis, it's always love whenever we link up. And Frenzy, you're a good guy, man. I'm gonna follow, even though you're Arsenal, I'm gonna follow you because
you know what? A sick name as well, Chatty Patty.
Yeah, Chatty Patty. That's
I like it.
Absolutely, man. Obviously, man like Lewis, you get me big things and that. Let them know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you guys, Carefree Lewis G, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Chelsea Fan TV as well. Premzy, Patrick, good to be on a stream with you guys at last. It's been a really good stream. Saeed, as always, love having me on. And yeah, hit the like button if you guys ain't done so already. And yeah,
make sure you do that, man. Make sure you do that. And obviously, check out Boohoo, man. Get 10% off, people. Go get your hoodies, whatever. Make sure you go support that link. Link is in the description. And yeah, man, I'll be back tomorrow for Rivals Talk. We're out, people.